we're here for the last match with Reclaimer Amulet, the grand finale. Can we go 4-1, or do we just get the mediocre 3-2? You know, just get our league back plus some value. Man, what a shame. It would be just terrible if we went infinite. Nah, we got to get this 4-1. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, after our last round against Black White, Eldrazi, and Taxes, a deck that I happen to personally like very much, um, I'm just hoping to finish off this particular league strong. Try to get this 4-1 if we can, get some value, and if not, 3-2, totally fine with me, especially since Amulet is supposedly unplayable. Hopefully you could have learned that if you have just a little bit of innovation and some fun while you're playing, then Amulet is still a great deck to be playing. So, I will see you guys in the match. I will say, playing Reclaimers and Amulet has been one of the funnest things I've done in a while with the deck. It's an innovation, but I feel like it adds a couple more layers of depth to the deck. We haven't even gotten to play the Reclaimers that particularly much, but it's just been a nice experience. So I will definitely be doing this again, for sure. Maybe we just hit the good side of variance here on matchups and all of that, and draws, and we did well artificially because of it. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm still loving this deck, so let me know if you guys have experience with it, or if you guys decide to play the deck in any form or capacity. How do you feel about it? What changes would you make? Let's jump straight into the match here. Against R. Rozanski. I don't know. Don't know this person personally. This hand is looking mighty good if we do happen to find a bounce land, so I'm definitely keeping it. Turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 bounce land to potentially play Dryad. Ooh, a control matchup. Well, this is where our Reclaimers should shine. Flagstone probably means control. Let's get this Flagstones out there, I guess. I don't see a reason not to. There would potentially be a downside to playing Flagstones over Forest if we, for example, played the Boros Garrison, because then the Forest would allow you to tap for green to play Dryad. So we could top deck Boros Garrison, having played Forest, and be able to cast Dryad this upcoming turn. Since all of our bounce lands are green, we don't have to worry about that. How about a second Flagstones? What does that even do? I think that means that we can play a Dryad this turn. I wasn't planning for this, but I will take it. One to keep. We want the untapped one. We'll trigger this one. I definitely wasn't planning on drawing another Flagstones, but that's pretty sick. What has our opponent got here? Shadow of Doubt. Oh my. Well, that sucks. Alright, we'll pass. Yeah, that really sucks. I'm gonna tell our opponent that was a good one in chat. Alright, so we're playing Grazer to get fielded at out there, I guess. Do we want to expose our field to this field? I don't think we have a choice. We just have to get our lands in play and try to play our spells. Our opponent ruined all of our fun. We were just trying to do some things with Flagstones over here, and our opponent is just not letting us. Couldn't possibly. Maybe they'll field our second Flagstones. There goes our Field of the Dead. We'll get the regular Forest. Is our opponent playing green? Are they on straight up blue-black control? They may be on blue-black. I also feel like that would explain the Shadow of Doubt. I don't think you could afford to play a Shadow of Doubt in a deck that played an additional third color. I think there would be better options at the very least. Okay, well, we're completely slamming this Dryad. Our opponent likely has the counter magic, but we don't have another choice. We don't even have lands to play, so let's just play our cards. Alright, we're passing. Another op. I guess that's fine. Also, they are playing Flooded Strand rather than something like Misty Rainforest, so it's quite possible that that indicates that they are not playing another color. Alright, well, we'll just go ahead and slam jam another Dryad here. Not playing our land first because they don't need that information. A mana leak or a logic knot's going to counter this Dryad regardless, so whatever. Cryptic. That's fine. We're still going to play the Hanweir out because that means we could potentially draw a castle and cast a Titan. Don't necessarily anticipate that we're going to be doing that, but it is something we can think towards. Our opponent's doing the thing that they do over there. Temple Garden. Okay. Let's just play a Dryad, I guess. Melee. You got me. We will not pay. Here's a Temple Garden. No thanks. Get to untap that one for free anyways. We'll pass back. I mean, we can't really do anything here. I guess a Reclaimer would still be good. We know our opponent has access to Cryptic Command here. I guess we're passing. We might need to start thinking about when to play these Summoners packs to best play around Counter Magic, for example. Our opponent's got us in the bind, though. There's a Reclaimer. That one's pretty good. Do we wait to play that one, or do we force them to go ahead and use a Cryptic? We could haste our Reclaimer and immediately activate. No, we can't haste it because we don't have red. I was thinking as if we had a Dryad in play. Well, I don't think there's a reason to just jam Reclaimer into Cryptic here. Let's just pass. If we draw a green bounce land, then we can threaten to play both a Titan and the Reclaimer. Which, admittedly, I'm certain that... I suppose that we could lead on Reclaimer and see what they do. And then play the bounce land and immediately Titan them just for the surprise factor, so... Whatever. Let's play out this... Amulet. And we might want to explosives on 0 in case they have a Shark Typhoon. I'm not opposed to it. Yeah, let's just do that. They can field our Hanweir and stop us from being able to haste a Titan, but getting a Titan into play would be a good first step. So let's just think about getting that to happen in the first place. Now it's just the patience of timing our spells correctly. They do have the Shark Typhoon. I don't know if there's a reason not to just blow explosive now. Nah, I guess we want to just go ahead and blow it. Don't want to play into something crazy. Our opponent's already playing Shadowed Out, so it wouldn't be that that outrageous for them to be playing a Nimble Obstructionist, so definitely don't want to get clocked for 6 here. At this point, our opponent probably should just hardcast a Shark Typhoon. Although, in all honesty, if they do that, they'll probably just die immediately, so, you know. I guess this was a good time to play explosives on 0. Hmm. How about the 3rd Amulet of Vigor? Go get him. we're one more amulet away of a bounce land being able to cast 2 Titans here with our 5 mana plus 8 from the bounce land. Snapcaster Mage. You got it. Please Fatal Push my Arboreal Grazer. Please. Okay, off. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Dig for a way to kill us. I suppose if we drew a bounce land, they could just field the bounce land. That wouldn't cut us off of Titan mana, interestingly enough, but... you know. Grazer. Let's hold on to it. Cling to Dust. You got it. Hitting the Field of Dead is a pretty heads up there. We could be playing a Ramanop Excavator. And no reason to float. We're not doing anything with the mana, so let's not even, excuse me, pretend that we have something that we're doing there. I know it, they know it. There's no reason to float it. Not playing some kind of instant speed X spell. But wait, opponent, we have a Sphinx's Revelation to cast this turn. They cling our Hanweir. So they definitely think we're playing Ramanop Excavator, which makes sense. This looks like a Titan Vial deck, but in fact, it's just playing Reclaimer. Now we see the push on our Grazer. Man, they've established their clock. And that thing could kill us, in all honesty, but still. Vesuva. If we Vesuva our own Flagstones, we get 3 mana plus a Flagstones trigger. Ain't the worst. Ain't the worst. Is this the turn to do it? Are we pulling the trigger? We know they have a Cryptic. Let's see, that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we actually could double Titan them this turn. Let me just double check. So we get 3 from this Vesuva as a Flagstones. 4 from tapping this one. We sacrifice, get a tap Temple Garden, get 3 more. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait. So 4 from the... no, wait. 3 from this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're actually 1 short of double Titaning them here. I think I'm still gonna go for it, though. Actually, maybe not. Weird. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're 1 short. That's a shame. Do we wait 1 more turn, or do we throw a Grazer out? I guess we throw a Grazer out to block, since they may or may not have to interact with this. Let's refrain from the Vesuva here, and we'll pass back. Actually, I guess we could second main cast a Reclaimer and force them to deal with it. That doesn't seem awful. Since our plan is to present double Titan in a turn, this just acts as a precursor threat, I suppose. Totally fine to go for a Titan here post-combat anyways, just because we know for a fact we couldn't haste our Titan, the Hanweir's exiled. Counter draw our Reclaimer, that's fine. Do we jam into their open mana? I guess we do. Oh no, I guess I should have floated the mana before doing this. It doesn't matter though. We'll keep this Flagstones. 5 to make sure that we don't have any yield set to these amulets. And they're finally doing something. Yes, we will use. Get a Temple Garden. No, we will not pay the life. Let's get some more mana. We're going mana crazy over here. I guess 1 more mana would have actually let us play around Mana Leak here, but let's just use both of these Temple Gardens because I don't want to bother with figuring out which one is being untapped. All right. Summoner's Pact. Please counter the pack. That would be great. They don't counter the pack. I mean, we're going for Titan and nothing else, so here it goes. Our next turn, we can just hardcast a Titan and see what happens. So we do not get to trigger field here. Actually, is our field gone? Yeah, our field is gone anyway, so that doesn't matter. This would be just setting up some endless T-West loops here, I guess. No! No! Oh boy. What unbelievably bad sequencing from me. Alright, well. Live and learn, guys. Float from the flagstones first. I kind of thought it was like a bounce land trigger. I should have known better because it's a legendary thing, not a it's state-based, not a trigger. So you can't respond to it by floating the mana with the flagstones. But oh man, what a shame to get punished by that. Man, that just sucks. We're probably very unlikely to win this game in the first place, so I guess we can't jam Titan this turn either just because we have to pay for this. Little pack trigger here. They did put a cryptic on top from their fetch here. Are we slamming another Titan? I don't think so. Let's just pass it back. We'll try to play the patience game again. And now we're looking a lot worse. At least we're stopping them from attacking. Oh, that's right. They get to do the cling to dust thing. Yeah. They only get to do that one more time, though. Jace, you got it. Minus on my Grazer. Okay, look at my top card. That's interesting. We can't, unfortunately, haste and kill the Jace because our battlements is gone. Huh. And we don't have field to trigger either, so we're just pouring all of our Titans into play if this one resolves. Are we going for it this turn either? We know they have a Cryptic, so I guess not. They put the card on top. What is it? Zeusa. I mean, I guess that one clocks a Jace, sort of, or trades with Snapcaster at least. All right, let's not show them the bounce land. They don't need to know. I don't think that going for Titan this turn is going to be right. I'll play about maybe 2 more turns of this game at max, and then I'm just going to scoop it up because our opponent has a Jace in play and 7 cards in hand. So, and we know one of them is a Cryptic Command. Yeah, whatever. Let's just give this game up and go to the next one. All right, begin sideboarding. What do we have for them? Dramoka seems good. That's one that's really difficult for them to deal with, I would presume. Purge for Ashiok. Maybe not 3. Try 2. Actually, let's go for 3. Why not? Tracker and Dispute look good. I don't hate Tech Edge. It can stop a Mystic Sanctuary loop. It can cut them off of Cryptic or Archmage's Charm in a turn where they don't expect it. I kind of like Tech Edge. We can trim a land, perhaps. I don't know. Flagstone seems good. Garenbrig seems alright. Could potentially trim 1 bounce land, although I don't really like the idea of that. Don't really want to just board up to 32 lands against our control opponent. We'd rather have live top decks. I guess we're trimming a Garenbrig here. Alright, we definitely want the negation. We can trim the Grazers for sure. Maybe an Amulet. Possibly even 2. Don't love Zeusa, in all honesty. explosives deals with shark tokens, and that's it. I guess that's one way for our opponent to deal with Dromoka, is just shark token for a lot and block. It's kind of embarrassing, but, you know, whatever. Maybe we don't want Amulet at all. It doesn't really do a whole lot on its own. Interesting. We can trim one pack in case they do have the Ashiok. I think we might just be going on 0 Amulet here. The 0 Amulet plan. Let's try this. It's going to make holding up Mystical Dispute a little more difficult without amulets, but that's fine. We got a Purge to answer Ashiok. We got a turn 1 Reclaimer. Like it. I like it. If we top deck a Flagstones, we can get Reclaimer kind of going here. So that's nice. Settling in for a long game here. I have to admit, playing the control matchups are a little bit draining. Titan, not bad. Not bad. Guess we're playing out our Valakut. We're definitely not sacrificing a Growth Chamber or Sanctuary to our Reclaimer. Should have attacked for one. Missed it. Whatever. Definitely not sacrificing those to our Reclaimer ability, so. So we have a Reclaimer activation up. Temple Garden. Don't hate that one. Let's play that one out and hold up Purge or Reclaimer activation during their turn. Don't really know what we'd be searching for here, in all honesty, but we will see. It could be Bojuka Bog. In my last match I played against a Simic Wreck deck, I received the comment that you should try to Bojuka Bog your opponent as often as possible. Our opponent doesn't actually have anything in their graveyard that we want to bog away, and we know they're not playing green, so maybe keeping them off Uro is not a huge consideration. I guess they could Shadow of Doubt us here. Okay. A little unfair. And by that I mean it's obviously a totally fair card, but doesn't feel particularly fair. We can Reclaimer here again with the second Temple Garden to get a Flagstones, I guess. Let's get the Growth Chamber out here. We'll activate, getting rid of this Temple G. We'll get the Flagstones, I suppose. And we can pick up the Flagstones so we have an untapped source. That's fine. Pass it back. We are 1 Reclaimer activation away from just starting to clock them for 3 every turn. If that seems ridiculous, that's because it is. Although I guess Reclaimer is a good Archmage's Charm target. Eliminate. That's fine. Kill the Reclaimer. That's fine. Okay, so we can play a Dryad or an Azusa into their Mana Leak / Aether Gust here. Let's play out the Azusa, I guess. We'll Sanctuary here as well, just to pick up Valakut, I guess. If this Azusa resolves, we'll get full value out of our land drops. That is the reasoning. Mana Leak. I don't care. No, we will not pay. Go back to you, opponent. Do the things that you do. Field of Ruin that. Okay. Let's get a Snow Forest. Not feeling the Valakut is good news for us. Another Dryad, not bad news for us. Let's play our Valakut and a Dryad, I suppose. Mana Leak me again, I guess. You got me. No thanks. Back to you. Opt. Trying to hit a land drop here, I guess. Didn't do it. Can't play a Titan. We could pack 4 and play Tireless Tracker. We kind of get got by a Damping Sphere, however. or a cryptic command? Alright, I guess the answer on that one is no. Let's leave up our Celestial Purge here, and we'll slam jam this Dryad. They do have to deal with this because we do have Valakut just chilling here. Just hanging out. Getting a little hurt by this Shadow Doubt stopping us from searching that one time with the Reclaimer. Now we're a 1 mana short of a Titan. Field of Ruin. Uncool. Float some mana. Search for a regular forest. Right there. Alright. Garenbrig still casts a Titan. I'm at the point where I would just jam into Archmage's Charm, I think. Last basic was not a fantastic pickup, and not gonna lie. Why would they field the not Valakut land here? I guess they're really scared of me resolving a Titan. Like, you got it, I guess. I'm not gonna give them a window to cast anything. I mean, to be honest though, if they Archmage's Charmed a Tireless Tracker, then that might be actively good for us, but... Pact of Negation. That is a nice one. Do we tap ourselves out the next turn just to try to get a Tireless Tracker into play this turn? We don't even have a land drop to play with it, so I guess not. Our opponent can just instep kill our Dryad, and then we've made very little progress. Can't really do much about it. Could have negationed it, but then we just died our own negation trigger if they have a second removal spell, so... Things looking very weird here. Putting Drown back. Okay. They play an Ashiok expecting Drown to be enough. Do we want to pack this? If we pack this and they drown our pack negation, then we can top deck a land and slam Titan. Oh wait, no wait. Oh my gosh, I almost screwed up big time. They can just let the pack resolve and kill us. Because we untap and can't pay for the blue. I can't believe I almost walked myself into that. Okay. Well. Come on, untap land for Titan. Untap land for Titan. Reclaimer. That's not bad, actually. I'll take that one. They let it go. I guess they can just drown it, so... Which they opt not to do, interestingly enough. I guess they could Jace bounce it. Or they don't. That's fine, too. Now they drown it. Okay. Untap land. Explosives. We can play explosives on 4. Our opponent does have to do something about this. Oh, wait, no, we can't play it on 4. We only have 3. Okay. I lied. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Do we play it on 0 to play around Shark Token? We already have an answer to Ashiok. And if it doesn't work, then we can just untap, play explosives on 3, and blow it up. So I guess I just want to pass here. We will play and crack our explosives on 0 once we know that there's a threat to get rid of, so... There's a snap. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the control matchup is still pretty bad. We haven't even seen our opponent's Aether Gusts yet. I'm gonna let them Jace, but I want to see... They opted and put the card on top. Interesting. So, like, a common play with Jace would be to put 2 cards on top. The one that you really want on the second from the top, and then the one that you want to scry away on top of it. So you could opt the top card to the bottom, and then draw the second card instead. Okay, we'll take our 2. Temple Garden. We will shock it, I guess, and play a Titan. Do we do this? I mean, I'm sure they have a million counter spells. I kind of want a Pact Negation to back it up, but they can just, like, let it go and do some things. Whatever. Let's just throw a Pact Negation out there. They're going to counter it. It's fine. And if they don't, then we'll search up. Oh, now we're just going to die because they're going to recounter the Titan, I guess. All right. Well, that is everything. To be honest, I'm kind of glad that game is over. I don't think we're beating an onboard Jace. We could try to, like, wait until we spike a Cavern off the top, even though there's only one copy of that card in our deck, but regardless, whatever. We know the control matchups are bad, so not really gonna fret that. Anyways, 3-2, still a pretty good overall record. Sorry, I was confused for a second, because it didn't give us the little thing that gave us the prizes for 3-2, or maybe I just missed it. I don't know. I'm being stupid. Regardless, yeah, this is the deck. And now to talk a little bit about potential changes. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm thinking that we need to play a Crumbling Vestige. I think one Crumbling Vestige is worth the slot. We want a Crumbling Vestige for sure. I don't know what we could cut for it. It's possible we can't play Garenbrig at all. I don't know. Maybe we could go down to 3 Flagstones, since we're mainly just using them with Reclaimer and not much else. I could see that. Trim Flagstones, go up to 1 copy of Crumbling Vestige. We also saw a few times that not having a differently named bounce land was somewhat problematic. So I think it might be worth it to not splash the white in the sideboard. Sorry, white cards. They were cool and all, but I don't know how much they actually helped, and instead it might actually hurt our mana base. We're not really taking a lot of advantage of the Flagstones, but that's fine. It's an untapped source for Amulet, and it does things with our Reclaimers and taps for colored manas for explosives, so it's not that bad. So instead, let's get some Gruul Turfs in here. Oh, I put the the S on Gruul Turfs. Don't want to do that. There we go. Let's add 2 of these bad boys. They are helpful in triggering field, for example. What else? What else? We have our Crumbling Vestige. We have our additionally named Bounce Lands. We could go up maybe 1 more Garenbrig, I think. Say at 31 lands. Might be fine. Garenbrig is especially good in our build that has so many forests. I find Garenbrig to be a good top deck oftentimes. Oh, we also lost a match because of the lack of a Radiant Fountain, so we need to bring that one back. Maybe that's going to be the play instead of the Garenbrig. Which is probably fine since we did trim 1 Flagstones, so we're not going up a significant amount on non-colored sources for turn 1, so I think it's fine. And this is how I would run back the mana base. It's a little Mod Podge. We're down 1 total copy of Bounce Lands, but at least they're differently named now, so that's good. Don't think that we need access to the Stronghold. I think it's fine for us to want our Titan to set up a Valakut and be a little weaker on its own, but be able to allow us to have Valakut plus Dryad as a viable plan going late, especially if our Titan gets answered, so I don't think that's too much of a problem. And then in the sideboard, we would bring back many of the things that you might be familiar with in the Titan sideboard. First of all, we want these Dismembers back. I did the thing again where I added the S. No. There we go. We want all of these Dismembers back in the sideboard, so we'll add those 3. I think Force of Vigor is a good one as a 1-of. That way we can cast it for free if our opponent happens to have a Blood Moon in play and we want to be able to end of turn force untap Titan. It can be cast after a Blood Moon, which Purge cannot, which makes it quite valuable. And Beats Within is, of course, a fantastic one. Being able to hit Tron lands against Green Tron, which has started to make a bit of a resurgence, and being able to hit Planeswalkers and whatnot, very strong. Could help us with an additional threat to, for example, in those games we just played, be able to deal with a Jace. Let's see, what else? We could play our own couple copies of Aether Gust for the Uro matchups. You can gust their Wilderness Rex. You can gust their Uros and stuff, and that can be very effective in slowing them down, which I don't hate. And then in the mirror, Aether Gust is obviously excellent. Don't hate it. We might need to go up on blue sources if we were to do that, like get a copy of Breeding Pool in here. I think with only 3 Flagstones, we can trim a Temple Garden for a Breeding Pool. So let's do that. What else? Yeah, I don't mind getting a few Aether Gusts in here. Also wouldn't mind the idea of a few Veil of Summers, just to make sure that we have outs to these Cryptic decks. It's not very good against Aether Gust, but we have Disputes and Pack Negation for Aether Gust, so having an additional way to punch through Cryptic cheaply is quite valuable. I don't know if we want 2 or 3. We'll see. So this is currently 15. The Tech Edge can go. It didn't really feel necessary in the games that we played. So maybe something like this, 1 Aether Gust. Kind of like the idea of a second Aether Gust. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else that I would want to play. So I think next time I play this deck, this is where I will start at. We do want our Balos back, I suppose, if we're not playing Dramoka or Timely Reinforcements. We kind of want Baloth. Maybe we could go without the 3rd Beast Within, go with 2 Beast Withins to make room for Baloth. I think this is a nice place to be. In all honesty, when we have Grazers against these aggressive decks and Reclaimer to search up a Radiant Fountain early on before we even get to Titan, we may not need access to Obstinate Baloth, but it's probably fine. I think this is a good place to start moving forward, so I'm gonna bring this back up so you can see it. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of changes for a list that just went 3 and 2. That said, I think that going a little heavy on the white splash, just like when I first played the Hanweir build, going heavy on the red splash, there's no really need for that. Just have the utility of playing the cards that you're playing, the Flagstones and the Reclaimer, but you don't need to go heavy on things like Timely Reinforcements and Dramoka and all that. Like, sure, it might be fun, but I don't really think it's going to win you games, and I think depending on how you construct your deck, like I did, where I forgoed the Crumbling Vestige and Radiant Fountain in order to make room for all these white lands and all this, and couldn't trigger a field at some point because I didn't have a Gruul Turf to get as a bounce land and things like that. Like, you end up losing little small things that you don't even consider because you're so tunnel vision focused into doing the cheeky thing, you know? But we don't really need to get cheeky here. We just need to have some stuff going. So, yeah, this is the list that I like and will probably be playing for another league in the soon future here. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the deck. Let me know what you think about the controlled matchup and how I can improve my game in that matchup. And I will see you guys real soon with the next league. This is Redface Menace.